This week on WoodCarving Weekly, we've got all kinds of great stuff. We're going to talk about when you should carve against the grain. We'll also share some information about a carver who decided to make a sculpture out of wood chips. True story. We'll have a Christmas diorama and we'll spin around YouTube to see what we can see. Just a reminder, all of the links for the resources that I mentioned in this episode are right below the video in the description. I also have them a little further down the page in the comments section. Let's get started. Well, when it comes to creativity, I would say that Clint Rose has an abundance of it. Yeah, he said recently that he gets asked a lot what he does with his wood chips from his various carving projects. He usually says, yeah, I burn them or I use them for composting. But then he got kind of a wild hair idea and he said, what if I could make a sculpture from my wood chips? So he has put together a video, it just came out recently, where he goes through this process of taking a bunch of wood chips to make a sculpture of a woman's face. And I have to tell you, this is something I've never seen before. And Clint said he's basically had no idea what he was doing, but he tried it anyway. So he takes you through the process. He shows you how he did it. And for me, it was fascinating. Really was. I think you'll enjoy the video, and maybe you'll find it fascinating too. Well, up next, we'll talk about tools. I received an email the other day from Scott and Penny Boyle. They're the folks that run the Bigfoot Carving Tools website. And in their email, they said they were going to be shutting down their online store. Sadly, this is coming up December 30th, so there's not a lot of time left. They started the online store back in 2018, made it all the way through the pandemic, but now they're saying they need to shut it down. And they also said that they have discounted prices on a lot of their items as much as 30 to 40%. And so this may be a good opportunity for anyone who's looking for some carving tools. Now, whether you're a power carver or you prefer hand tools, they've got it all. And you'll find brands like OCC Tools, Badger State Blades, Lee Ferguson, Flex Cut, and more. So I'll have a link for you to go to their website and you can find it easily and see what's there. Maybe you can pick up a good deal on some tools. Well, up next, we'll introduce you to Scott Longpre. Scott is a guy that you may have seen some of his work. He posts pictures on Facebook and then also on Instagram. He's a very accomplished carver. And every once in a while, he publishes a video onto his Facebook page, and he's put together a collection of videos over the years that you may really enjoy. So the other day, Scott went on Facebook Live and was doing a demonstration on how to carve a Santa. And this is the Santa head, sort of like an ornament looking bust. And he starts with the eyes and then carves the entire face for this Santa. And he shows you his process and gives you some of his tips along the way. Now you'll see him using a variety of hand tools, everything from a Helvy knife to various flex cut tools, and he even shows you a very large V-tool he says he picked up at Harbor Freight. He says, yeah, they get really sharp. So anyway, he shows you the entire carving process, and then near the end of the video, he talks a little bit about his, theories on sharpening tools. You'll also hear him making comments to the people that were making comments in the live chat, and every once in a while he wanders out of the frame of the camera, but this is still a great opportunity to pick up some really good carving tips from a very experienced and talented carver. Well, it's that time of the year when the Whittled Lovelies Christmas diorama comes to life. And this year, Sarah has put together a really unique kind of diorama scene. In this scene, you'll see a kind of a photo that shows Rudolph, Santa's sleigh, and a bunch of presents sort of suspended in the air as if they're falling out of the sky. Now, this project comes with a backstory, a complete story about what caused this falling to occur, And there's a video that goes along with it. Now, in the video, there's an animated character at the beginning of the video, works through the entire story, and then at the end, there's Sarah basically carving the pieces that she used for this diorama. It includes a figure of Rudolph, Santa's sleigh, and all the different presents that she carved. So the story is on the Whittled Lovelies blog, and it's also part of the video. I'll have links for you, and hope you enjoy. Well, up next, we'll take a trip with Tampa Jimmie. And as the name suggests, Jimmie lives in Central Florida. He has more than 100 videos on his YouTube channel, and it's kind of a mixture of camping, bushcraft, product reviews, and also carving videos. And recently, Jimmie went on a trip to Inverness, Florida, where he takes us on a tour of the 30th annual Nature Coast Woodcarving Show. This is an event that features a lot of local carvers, and Jimmie does a nice job of walking us through the event, showing us a wide variety of different carving styles and the folks that made them. Jimmie said he had a great time there, met lots of friendly folks, and it's a really nice walkthrough. Take a look at the video and see what you think. Over at Against the Grain Chip Carvings, Damon has a brand new video where he talks about why his channel is called Against the Grain. You know, from the onset of our carving journeys, we were always taught that we need to carve with the grain, right? Well, in this video, Damon explains where there are sometimes situations that he encounters that make things a little different. You know, he's a chip carver, and chip carvers are really anti-fuzzy. That's right, they don't want fuzzies or tear out because chip carvings feature a lot of very linear geometric shapes that are nice and clean. And so he knows the importance of making a clean cut. And he explains in this video that there are certain times where he needs to carve against the grain or across the grain in order to get a clean cut. This is a quick video, less than 4 minutes long, and it's a pretty good tip. So you might be interested. Take a look and see if this might help you with some clean cuts. Well, up next, we'll go to Frank's Carving Corner. And he's got a brand new video about adding extra details to your carvings. And in this case, he's working on a Santa figure, and the extra details are being added to the base that the Santa is standing on. Now, Frank also says that his customers really enjoy the additional details, and he shows an example of one of his finished carvings where he's done a similar thing and added details to the base of the carving. In the video, he shows you the various tools that he's using, and he talks a little bit about what it's like when you're carving at different depths. He's working on a ribbon and some swag that's going around the base of this carving, and so he takes you through his thought process about carving these things at different depths. He shows you the tools that he's using, and he does a nice job of sharing the information as well. So if you want to put some extra details in your carvings, this may be a nice tip for you. Go and check it out. Folks, I want to thank everybody for being here this week. Really enjoy the support, all the thumbs up, the likes on the videos help a lot. It helps other carvers like you find and share this information with others. See you next week.